Alright guys, welcome back to another video here on the channel. So as you can see, this is a little bit different than some of the previous content on my channel. I've done a lot of FIFA, and FIFA will still be coming in the future, but I'm really trying to make this more of a gaming channel, the things that I play. And this game is called Watcher of Realms. It is a kind of a mix between a tower defense game and a hero collector gacha game. It's super cool. I've really been enjoying it. It's been out about a month. I've been enjoying it so much I actually applied to be in the content creator program and was accepted, so that is super exciting. What today's video is going to be about is kind of a how-to beginner's guide to Watcher of Realms. So we're going to go over everything from heroes to the campaign to summoning, which is everybody's favorite part, right? Like opening packs and getting heroes. It's really very similar to FIFA, right? You just don't have the actual soccer playing or football playing for some of you. What you're doing instead is battling with them, which if you like Ultimate Team, you will like this game. It's a hero collector game. Just like you collect cards in Ultimate Team, you collect heroes here. They all have different skills, right? Just like players have different stats. And you can use them to try and achieve goals. So let's start by talking about our heroes. So I'm going to click on the Heroes tab down here. This has a tier system typical of most kind of games in this genre, which is gold are kind of your best heroes, your top tier legendary heroes. They're the rarest, but they're also the most powerful. Then you have epic, which is purple, and then you move on to, sorry, I moved my mic over a little bit, and then you move on to rare heroes, which are blue, and then green, which are common, and gray, or sorry, green are uncommon, gray are common. Now you'd almost never use any of these kind of heroes in a fight. Sometimes you might use some rares, but you'll see most of my roster is made up of epics and of legendaries because they are the most powerful characters. Now, you can power your characters up in a number of ways. So see how this says max here? That is referring to her level. Her level is 60 out of 60. Now, Eluin here, if I click on Eluin, she is only level 50 out of 60, so I can actually upgrade her using experience potions, which we'll talk about how to get those in a minute. I can upgrade her one level. Now she's 51. I actually completed a couple daily quests, which is cool. You can also promote them. See how, let's take a look at Setram here. He has 5 purple stars and 1 still yellow. I can use these materials, which you can get from promotion raids, which I'll talk about in a moment, to upgrade him. Obviously, I don't have enough right now. Same thing with, say, Abomination, or with, what is her name? I just am blanking on her name. Volca, that's right. You can get her from the storyline quest for free, which is pretty cool that they give you a legendary character for free. Now, Sadie here, you'll notice she has a blank space instead of that 6th yellow star there. That's because I can actually star her up. And I would need to use other 5-star people to star her up, and then she would go up to 6 stars. See, there. Excuse me, I actually don't have enough to do that right now, so we won't be starring up Sadie in this video, but that is one of the ways to level up your characters. The other is promotion, which I just talked about. So if I promoted her to 6 stars, 6 purple, she would get boosts to her stats, HP, attack, defense, and magic defense, basically. Magical resistance. There's 2 types of damage in this game. One is physical damage, one is magic damage. Different heroes deal different types of damage. That's why these types of defenses might be important for one character or another. Then, of course, there's gear. So see, the gear is adding a bunch of stats to her total. Let's go to one of my better geared heroes. You can really kind of pump up the damage. Like Zilla2 here has almost 100% crit rate. Lots of attack. Let's see, Vierna probably has even more. Yeah, look how much attack I have on Vierna. She's probably my favorite character, to be honest. There's also things like sets, like because I have 2 calamity pieces, see this little purple symbol? That's a calamity piece. It adds an extra 25% attack. Same thing on this side. I think this is curse, yep. And it has a different effect there. Increases damage, basically. So then each character has skills. So you can look at the skills. See how it's like 4 of 5, 4 of 5, 2 of 5? You can upgrade your character's skills. Again, I don't have the required materials right now, but you get extra effects onto each of their skills if you use skill dust and skill crystals to upgrade them. Now, the first few times you upgrade skills, see I don't have any upgraded on him, or just 1. you just use the skill dust, okay? Or Nyx or somebody like that, you just use the skill dust. But when they have many skills upgraded, like back to, sorry, Zilla2, I guess, you need a lot more dust. Notice it would take 110 dust and a skill crystal just to upgrade one of these, but I do have a couple of them maxed out already. Okay, another way to power up your heroes is awakenings. Okay, so you'll notice that I have Zilla2 Awakening 2. I really want to get her Awakening 3 because this Will of Hegemony is a really good skill. The way to awaken characters is to have multiple copies of them, okay? So you'll notice some of the epic characters, a lot of them, I have Awakening 5. That's the max you can awaken them, so see, he's fully awakened. Some characters are obviously easier to get than others. Legendaries are a bit tougher, so I don't have so many awakenings on my legendary characters, okay? One more thing I want to talk about with heroes, and sorry, before I move on, awakenings give extra stats or increase their skills, right? So like this one gives 2 plus 200 attack. This one helps her special ability, right? And so awakenings are another way to make your character more powerful. Now, I want to go back. So notice on her, on Zilla2's little marker here, this is the faction she's in, so you can sort heroes by faction as well. So there's the Watchguard, the North, the Infernal, Nightmare, whatever. Each of those factions has lords. So let me actually go to the character gallery here so we can see this a little bit better. So here's the Watchguard, for example. There are lords to this faction. Now, if you get the legendary lord, it increases all faction allies' attributes by 15% just off the top. Like, for example, I have King Hars. So if I use anybody, this guy here, if I use anybody from the North faction, they automatically get a 15% boost of all basic attributes. And then your gear scales off of those basic attributes, which is awesome. And then it also has a bonus kind of ability where it grants all faction allies a shield of up to 30% of their max health, and all members of other members of the team 15% of their max health for 20 seconds, and the defense of anyone with a shield is increased by 20%. Now, Isolde does something similar, but she doesn't have quite as good abilities, and then the rare lord, because she's easier to get, again, only 5% and not as good a shield. I also have the Nightmare Council Lord, or one of them, an Epic Lord. This is actually somebody you get for free, Wrath, through the daily login. Great, great character. I'll do a whole video just on him. But anyway, lords are really, really rare to get, and they are really valuable to add to your team, okay? There's one more way to power up your heroes, and that is by adding artifacts. Artifacts add both stats and skills. So, for example, when Zilla2 is attacking and there's an ally within one tile, her attack increases by 8%, so she does more damage, which is excellent. Plus, she gets these extra stats up here. Some of the artifacts are better, so like restores 5 rage. So in their skills, they have an ultimate skill, right? And that's this is the rage cap right here, 900 rage. So when Vierna works up 900 rage, she then can use her ultimate, which is a special ability which does more damage, or can protect teammates and things like that. So let's move on into how you get these heroes. So we'll go into summoning. So you have 2 different types of summoning, basically. You have the Invocation of Spirits, and you have the Divine Summoning, okay? So for people who have played games like, say, Raid Shadow Legends, think of these as your Ancient Crystals and these as your Sacred Shards. Ancient Shards, Sacred Shards, right? I guess, what are they called? I forget their official name for them. Rare Summoning Crystals. That's why I was calling them crystals. Rare Summoning Crystals. You actually get them pretty frequently. I have 8, and I think I started this morning with just like 3 or something. And I've made 1,500 summons already in this game, which is pretty cool. You use them, and you have a 0.5% chance at a legendary. Notice they are kind of split into lords versus not lords. All of these lords are really good. You have a 0.04% chance of getting a legendary lord, which is kind of crazy, especially considering I have Twin Fiend and I got 2 King Harses, which is wild. You also have 0.46, which is the remainder of that 0.5 for getting any other legendary, 0.12 on lord. So it's actually more rare to get an epic lord than it is to get any legendary character by like 4 times, which is kind of crazy. Then you have about 8% chance at the rest of the epics, and then of course the rares, which I feel like I get so many rare rare lords, which is kind of crazy, and then 50% chance at 2-star down. And those would just be used for food. Like I was saying, when you can star up heroes, there's actually a feature called Quick Star Up. So I can use one gray guy plus another gray guy plus 500 gold plus 1800 experience and turn them into a level 10. And I can do that 10 times. Now I can do it with a level 20 into put 2 2-stars into him, and now I turn him into a 3-star, right? And I can keep doing that and keep doing it. Now you'll notice I can do these guys into 4-stars, and then so on and so forth, and then until eventually I can use them to power up my good heroes. Anyway, back to summoning. You can also summon with diamonds. There is no discount for 10 times, which there is in some games like this. I recommend in the beginning of your account, at least what I did, was use diamonds for summoning to try and get some good heroes. But now, as you can see, I have some good heroes. So now I'm actually saving my diamonds for stamina potions to farm dungeons and things like that, which we will get into. Divine summoning, I just want to show you guys the rates on this. 0.4% at a legendary lord, so significantly better. Almost 5.5% or so at a legendary, any other legendary. 1.22 on an epic lord, and everything else is a regular epic. So you are guaranteed an epic from these crystals. Obviously, they are harder to get. You see, I have 0 right now. They do have fusions as well, so you can get certain heroes, level them up, like I was talking about, and then fuse them into a new hero, okay? There's also one, if you just start your account, a legendary hero you can fuse called Abomination, but I already did it, and so he now disappears. Lightlock is really, really good. He might be getting a nerf, but as of now, he's good. Theowin's pretty good. Komodo is not very good at all. And Livian is good if you need a defender, but I never did because I got King Hearth, so I was very lucky. But if you need a defender, Livian is kind of the way to go. They also sometimes have shard summons or kind of hero fusions, like I'll compare this to Raid, since I think some of you might have played Raid before. You can collect fragments of a particular character and then summon her. And this is actually Isolde, who is a epic lord from the North faction. I don't need her, but it's very handy to have her. She's a good defender. And I actually am going to get enough shards to get 2 of her, so I can have her at Awakening 1, which is pretty cool. All right, so that's summoning. I'm not going to just leave you guys hanging. We will summon 1 crystal. Blue. And unfortunately, that is just a 2-star. We'll do another one. Why not? Okay, I'll tell you guys what. We'll do up to 5. If we get an epic, we'll stop. Obviously, if we get a legendary, we'll stop too. Now, chances are, obviously, you're going to get blues most of the time. This is Camille. She's interesting because she's actually a starter hero that they give you right away. She's a healer to make sure your champions stay topped up. Let's do 1 more. So this will actually turn purple if you do get an epic. I do want to show you guys that. So we'll do 1 more. I am trying to save my shards, though. Oh, there it is, purple. So we got an epic. So you can see it turns purple. We got Medan, who's actually a really great healer. Unfortunately, I do not need her. I have her Awakening 5, so I can just sell her on for another type of currency. So you noticed I just shared right there to get some extra diamonds. So the first time you get an epic or above hero per day, you get to share them for 50 diamonds, which is a nice little perk. Okay, let's move into the campaign. So the campaign is kind of the lifeblood of this game. It's actually really fun. So like in a lot of games like Raid, you're just trying to like breeze through the campaign or like farm the campaign over and over. Once you beat these stages, you basically have no reason to ever do them again, which is interesting. I mean, you can, because you can get a little XP, but there's other places to get XP, which I will talk about in a moment. But yeah, so you beat these once and you're really trying to progress the story and progress your characters, and there's a lot of rewards along the way. So for getting a certain amount of stars, you can get diamonds and chickens, basically, like food to feed to make your character stronger again. Now, every so often there is an EXP raid. So a stage like this, actually let me show you what this stage looks like. So we'll jump into it. This is the battle screen, so I'm kind of showing you 2 things simultaneously. Notice I have a lot of my good heroes in here. These 2 are in the Lord spots, so they are powering up some of my heroes. Wrath is powering up Salazar, and Twin Fiend is powering up Zillitu, Setram, and Scorch. So I'm going to jump in now. Obviously, this is a lower stage, and I'm much past this. So you actually drag your character out. You place them on a tile. So King Hars is a defender, so he can go on the floor tiles. So I'm going to put him right there. I'm going to slow this down, actually. So he can block up to 3 guys. So none of these guys will be able to get past him. Now, he's kind of destroying them because he's way too high a level for this stage. Now I can put in a mage, so she applies magic damage, like I mentioned before. And then I can also put a marksman who does physical damage. Okay, these are kind of like the Siphi and Rhodos of this game. They're together, right? And they give each other bonuses, which is pretty cool. Now Wrath is another fighter, so I'll put him here on these floor tiles. Now notice I can't place any characters right now. I can't place them because my cost hasn't gone up enough yet. Now you'll notice when it ticks to 17, Salazar is now placeable, so I can put him down. Now you'll see Silas's picture is lit up here. I can use his ultimate, so let's watch him. He powers up, and now he is doing a ton more damage. He's one-shotting everybody, which is pretty cool. Same thing with Vierna. She can do an ultimate as well. Hers is up right now. So yeah, so Zilla2 is another fighter. I'll put her down as soon as I... Oh, I guess there's a limit on... Oh yeah, deployable 0. So you can only deploy 5 characters on this particular level. Normally you can deploy as much as 8. So I'll do King Hars' ultimate ability. He puts a shield on everybody, which is really nice. And then we'll do, on the last one, we'll do Vierna's, which is pretty cool. Oh, that was the last one, so I guess we won't see Vierna's right now. So anyway, you'll notice I got a ton of XP potions. Now that is the place you want to farm your XP, 2250 XP, which is really quite nice. Those will appear every so often in the normal campaign. There is also the hard campaign, and then you can farm gold in some of those. I actually haven't even finished the hard campaign yet. And then there is the expert or like nightmare campaign. Same thing, I haven't quite finished that yet. So the campaign is a really good place to get some rewards, power up your heroes, and it's fun. It's fun to try and like puzzle out how exactly you need to beat a particular stage. So we will cover battling at the end of the video, but right now I want to talk about guilds. So guilds are the basic, the staple of this kind of genre, clans, right? Or like alliances where you partner with other people in the community. I'm actually part of the cluster called Celestials. So if you look at guild ranking, the Celestials original, Celestials A, I guess it's called, they're actually 3rd in the entire game. I'm in Celestials H, so obviously not one of the top clans, but a pretty good one. What's our ranking? 309. We actually went down a little bit. So right now we are hitting... so there is like a clan boss, right? So this is the guild boss. So you can work your way up through easy, normal, hard, nightmare, nightmare 2, nightmare 3, nightmare 4, and obviously the more score you get, which in this case it's called Dragon's Blood, the better your rewards are. So you can get potentially really valuable rewards like summoning crystals, which we talked about. These help awaken your characters. These help with skill ups. We talked about that as well. Different things like that. So you definitely want to be hitting guild boss every day. If you make the bar down to 0, you will then be able to actually get double the chests. So you get 2 chests if your guild downs the boss, which is very cool. I can do a whole separate video on guild boss and like characters that are good for it and strategies and things like that, and I probably will. Again, if I miss anything in this video, please just leave a comment down below, and I'm happy to either respond to that comment or make a whole nother video about it. Now, I'll go to raids. So I talked about campaign. That's one place to battle. Raids are another place. This is where you get all your materials, and it says it right down here. So you can get promotion things to promote them to purple stars, right? You can get XP and gold from here. You get gear from here. You get guild boss, which we just talked about, right? Artifacts, so to make those artifacts that can give you those extra stats and bonuses, and then faction trials and tide as well. I won't get into these 2 game modes too much, and in fact I won't get into any of these game modes too much except for gear. So gear is the lifeblood of a game like this. Your characters really scale well off the gear. There are 3 different kinds of gear raids. So you raid each of these sets of gear, and you can obtain different types of gear depending on what level you're doing. So for example, I think in Gear Raid 1, I'm at stage 19. 19 to 21 is really hard. You'll notice you can't actually get this currency without doing 19 to 21. So 18 is hard enough, to be honest with you. So we are actually we're gonna watch an auto fight of how I place characters in this raid. I will do specific gear raid videos. Don't worry about that. So basically, your goal is to try and stop the enemy units from getting to your soul crystals. I'm pointing with my finger, which you obviously can't see. These soul crystals in the back. Now on this stage, you have some walls to help you. Notice I'm doing just a ton of damage popping up. This is your total amount of enemies versus how many you've killed. This is your lives, okay? So if 3 people make it to these soul crystals, we lose. Notice I'm putting in a bunch of heroes, laying them down, making sure they can all reach where the enemies are going into. This is a big boss guy. He's obviously a little bit dangerous. I put down another hero. It's hard to see right there, but to block the boss so he doesn't do any damage to the wall. Notice our wall has a ton of health still. And we are at, oh, we can't see the enemies over here now. 58 out of 73. We're still knocking them all down, and we are almost finished. We just need our mages to kind of finish up these last few, and then at the end we'll get a couple of pieces of gear. Now, obviously, I have very good heroes. They're very developed. They're geared up and things like that. But yeah, so that's the basic premise of how a gear raid would work. And then you'll notice a drop right here. We got a mythic piece of gear. Now in the beginning you get blue gear, which is rare, purple gear, which is epic, yellow is legendary, and then red is mythic. Mythic is obviously the best. It has 4 stats on it. So you'll notice 4 stats. Gold or yellow would only have 3 stats. It wouldn't have this last one at the end here. That's actually a decent piece of gear. Keep that. And then you can upgrade your gear to get access to those stats. Okay. So that, I think, is everything I had written down about things you need to know to kind of get started in this game. Obviously, there's other things here like Tide or the Dwarven Association. Basically, this is just the shop, right? Which I can go over in detail in other games. I want to do hero guides, how I gear my heroes, how I develop them, kind of maybe a tier list. I think I'm going to do a tier list, which I think could be a really fun video. And those will be coming out over the next couple of days and weeks, okay? So hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Hopefully you download Watcher of Realms. It's a really, really good game, totally free to play, very free to play friendly if you choose to go that way. I actually have an account I'm running totally free to play, which is pretty cool. So if you guys enjoyed this video, definitely leave a like, comment down below about any questions you might have, and look forward to more content on this coming out very soon. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Thanks. Bye.
Say goodbye to your own life, turn the page, follow my bed, I don't care.